Greetings, viewers. Slinky here. Today we're going to be going over what is more of the mid-tier budget for the KB Wanderer Trickster. If you watched my previous video, you'll know some of the same stuff here. But we talked about our starter budget, which was 10 divs. We have still some of the gear right here from the previous video. We're actually going to reuse some of this stuff to recraft for our mid-tier budget. So that's why it's good to kind of buy the stuff there. You can obviously buy new bases and you spend more money. But we're just going to showcase a little bit of the reusing some of the stuff we already had. We will no longer be using these bases over here. Oh, it's Garn Chart's not a base, but yeah, these we'll be getting rid of for this transition. If you don't like Headhunter, you can still stick with Stygian Vice. People who don't like Headhunter at all, but if you want to, you can keep this and just fine. And if you keep this, your bootcraft will be pretty much the same as it is right here. Just need running a little bit more suppress. But yeah. Oh, and then obviously adding intelligence. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit different bootcraft because we're going to be getting rid of this belt. So yeah, this is going to be a bit of a long video, but this is going to be more of like a 50 divine-ish budget. Like on top of what you've may have already spent. Like, so we're keeping some of the bases, so I don't keep these calculations in. So 50 divines-ish. I'll total it up and add it into the video later. Yeah, so for now, I'm going to put this in the dust area. I'm going to try to remember that it's here. We're not going to be using these items, so I want to get these out of the way. We're going to go over a lot of the crafting stuff. So I pre-bought a lot of the stuff. I've totaled it all up. It's all in the side. Hopefully this is all we use. If we use more, then okay. If not, gems for this one, since we're more of a mid-game budget, we're also going to be level 95 instead of level 85. And you should have your like level 20 gems. Some of the stuff's level 21, but it's my actual stuff. Level 20 should be fine. And then 20 quality on your stuff would also be ideal. And then depending on your budget, you can either have awakened LA damage with attacks or added lightning damage. And we'll talk about it more as we go. But like these gems are leveled up at least to 20 with like quality and stuff on them. Cool. So first thing, obviously, Headhunter. If this edition uses Headhunter really well, so it also helps solve some strength and dexterity issues. So buying a Headhunter, I bought this for like 8 divine. They're relatively cheap right now, so that's an easy one to slot in. If you've watched a different video I show how to craft this wand. Yeah, essentially it's just a 10 div craft, a little bit once if you try to go for better prefixes. Actually hit the attack, penetrate, elemental resistances on this one. You ideally would want spell resistance, but this is not bad, and this is more common. So this is the wand we crafted, but I have another video that did that by itself, or I might attach me crafting this specific one to this video somewhere in the beginning or end, or maybe the middle, who knows. But like if you want to craft this wand, the starter version of it, I have a separate video for that. I'll try to link it in the description. Other than that, everything else is going. Oh wait, this stays the same. This is we bought this with. Pretty much good. Storm Shroud. I already have one on because I still use it. This one right here, technically a little bit worse than that one. Oh, you'll be using this again. I'll just put this one to the side for now. We'll still use this cluster. And I bought a base cluster to kind of showcase us crafting it. So like a lot of stuff we'll be redoing. But yeah, so we'll still use this cluster though, because it's not bad. It's 35 effect and then 5 intelligence. I said this video may be a little bit longer, but I should be able to separate it out for you guys to be able to skip around to kind of see the things you want to see. Before we go too far into the budget, people can't afford this Forbidden Flame Jewel right now. That is completely okay. In this budget, we're going to be using returning progenitor supports. You can also, if you have a little bit more money, spend money on a Nimbus, and it works fine. I did buy 2 other sets, one for Deadly Infusion, one for Unstable Infusion. This right here, I bought for 1 div each, so 2 divs for this set. And this one I bought for 4 divs each, so 8 divs, compared to like the hundreds of divines that this is. I want to say it was like over 400 divines for this set now. So there's ways to go around it. I'll showcase a little bit of both. But let's get a little bit into like the crafting. So ideally, for this budget, we're going to be going into more intelligence stacking instead of just the regular wander. You can buy this base for relatively cheap. You can even catalyst it up. Let me actually go to my hideout instead of being in Beast Farm. You can actually catalyst it up for a little bit extra to get like 18% instead of 15%. But yeah. And then so if you buy a base like this, it's easier to craft than necessarily crafting your Crusader Influence one. Because you have to worry about you have to worry about one mod. You can for this, I'm using Shrieking Essences of Spite. They are half the price right now of Deafening Essences of Spite. If you're on a budget, shrieking is just fine. That's obviously gonna be less intelligence, but if you're on a budget, it's okay. If you have a little bit more budget, go for deafening essences. That sounds great too. But spite is where we want to be at either way. So we're gonna throw a couple of these on here, and we're gonna look for just like good stats. Crit multi and energy shield. Actually, so this is already just from one tap. Pretty decent. It's tier 2 crit multi. It's energy shield. That's tier 2 intelligence, obviously, and light damage is whatever, but like, it's okay. So I would keep this. This is I would say this is already keepable. I know we're a little settled a little early. There's no res on it or anything like that, but that's okay. So you can craft this right here. You can craft percent right here as well, which is probably what I'll do. You can also put on like a mod and then exalt and see what you get. But I think I'm just gonna craft this on. We'll go 15%. Perfect. Okay. So that was easy craft, but might take a couple more clicks to get somewhere good. But if you get decent stats, use them. You know, don't be too picky. All right. So this is the same base we had before in our previous video. We're just gonna craft now instead of using dense fossils. We're gonna craft using some essence of spite. We want to get more intelligence on it. We want to guarantee we get intelligence. So we're going to click it quite a few times. It might actually use more than what I currently have, but we're going to click it a handful of times, unless we get lucky real quick. You can also technically just use the deafening or the dense fossil spam, and just look out for when you might see high evasion, high energy shield, which might be actually a better method, to be honest. So if this goes poorly, then we'll switch to that. Okay, this is not bad. It is low hybrid. Can we craft regular on here? Let's find out. If we can craft regular, then we'll do this. Getting suppressed would have been cool, but honestly, not bad. Looks like you cannot craft it, so we will keep on going. It might be once again better for us to do dense fossils and just look for the intelligence. Oh, the wrong one. Can't craft flat. I think I settled on this previously. Or my actually just how I crafted it again recently. I just crafted flat ES on this and was like good enough. But we'll keep going as might as well. That wasn't bad, and I could see settling there and being like, this is okay. Okay, this is actually okay. Yeah. So you can come over here. We're gonna throw this down. And we can craft, if you need to avoid elements on here, you can put avoid elements. But we're probably just gonna do the hybrid craft, which adds a little bit of life, but okay, whatever. Or you can always craft like a flat thing. So getting ES on here is better than getting energy shield because of the way your Trickster escape artist node works. So I would probably craft this on here. And then boom, there we go. That chest, I can't equip it yet because I need more dexterity. That chest is pretty much done. As a good settle craft, like I said, you can do a little bit better if you want to. We already did the implicits in the previous video. I would probably stop there. All right, gloves. Same thing we're looking for here. Just ideally suppress some intelligence, which we're guaranteeing. And if we hit suppress, fantastic. And any defenses is great. We've seen a lot of life. And this is why we bought the hybrid base previously, because we would love to get suppress here. You can obviously just use a Warlock's Glove if you want to instead. Looking for attack speed also isn't bad. Leech's mana is not the worst. Damage attacks isn't also the worst. And it's decent defense, but I can't craft suppress on it, so I don't think I want to do it. We are going to need to buy more essences. More than likely. More than likely. So in this instance, we could craft on the suppress. We could also craft on like % hybrid. I think maybe we go. We don't need too much defense from here. We care about more of the suppress. So we'll set this to the side now. We might use this. We'll set it to the side for now. All right, for boots, actually I didn't buy the right thing, so I'll make sure to add this price in. I already have some, but you should buy some from last time. Avoid being shocked. You want to use these right here. And this will go with your jewel, essentially. So we're just doing the same thing. We're hoping to hit intelligence with the avoid being shocked. You can also craft this onto, like, you know, a flask or something like that if you want to instead. And that's totally acceptable. But if we hit, like, tier 1 intelligence by doing this, awesome. If we hit suppress, great. All right, suppress. No intelligence on here. We have an open prefix. What can we craft with open prefix? Let's go find out. Don't want life. Can always do, like, you know, evasion. We might just do that. But well, the right one, not that one. I don't think anything else really cares about this stuff. I mean, avoid being frozen, whatever. We're a trickster. So boom. We'll take it a little bit better. Oh, I'll keep doing the thing. I'm just gonna hit it. 74 is the top, right? Okay. They're good enough. All right, we'll settle there. We got 12 suppress. That's good. We don't get intelligence on here, which sucks a little bit, but we should be okay. We'll see how we feel once we get to the other part. But that's pretty much how crafting works. You just kind of slam things. Oh, I need to make this rare, just so we can use essences on it. And for this one, I was going to originally showcase this one. This is, I bought a Lich's Circlet. If you want to use the hat you have previously with the fracture on it, it might be a little bit cheaper. But I want to showcase me doing Deafening Essence of Loathing. This is also how I ended up fracturing my own helmet. I use a lot of Deafening Essence of Loathing. Deafening Essence of Loathing are not super expensive right now compared to like Spites. But I essentially did this until I got like tier 1 intelligence or tier 1 like the hybrid up there, or energy shield, sorry. And then I attempted the fracture. So like this one, I wouldn't want to fracture because it's not 2 tier 1s. And I won't showcase doing a fracture here, but this is essentially how I crafted that. Which is why buying a base and splitting it is really helpful, because if you miss on your first fracture, you can try again on another one. Yeah, I just want to showcase doing this. I might not stick with this helmet for this version of the character, but this will also allow you to essentially not worry about mana reservation as an implicit. So if you want to do fracturing, this is how I did mine, essentially. It can take a lot of things. Oh, there we go. It's tier 2 essence, unfortunately, or tier 2 intelligence, unfortunately. But it's kind of what you're looking for. 60 is, I think, what I ended up with. On my fracture. Sorry, zone out a little bit while I was talking. And then there's also tier 1 energy shield, which, so like in this instance, I probably would try to fracture this because you have a 50% chance to hit either the tier 1 energy shield or the mana reservation, and that would make your next crafting steps easier. So that's all I want to showcase, is just kind of rolling to get like a 4 mod with 2 of them you care about, and then fracturing that. We will actually go back to using this for this craft, the helmet we previously bought. And we're just going to do Spites. And we're just mostly looking for decent defense. And I guess maybe a little bit, I mean, if we get, like, you know, decent other stuff as well, then that's fine. You can also, similar to, I think we talked about it earlier, you could go for, on this, instead of doing the Spites, you can always do the same thing with dense fossils and just look for tier 1 intelligence. It's just different methods to do the same thing. We may stay here. Let's move into crafting our ring. This is a Cogwork base. Oh, I need to make it rare. It's not influence, just a Cogwork base. Eye level 86. I think only 85, but I think 86 was the same price, so I just bought it. And once again, we're just hitting it with spites. Looking for decent mods. I mean, obviously intelligence is super good. If we end up needing strength, looks like we need some dexterity, so maybe dex might be good. We put the stuff on. Does it look like some dexterity will be really helpful? We're sitting here, we can pick up on the tree. But it's not influenced, so just good mods is fine. Honestly, I think the first one had like pretty good dex on it. I would have been tempted to keep that originally, and I just zoned out and didn't keep it. There we go, dexterity. Plus 12 energy shields, whatever. We have an open suffix to craft on like a resistance if we need to. That's probably good. All right, we'll put our armor on. And we have these 2 rings. Let's see if we need anything in particular. We need a lot of lightning. Neither of these have strength, but this one has lightning fractured, so we'll use this one. And similar, we're just looking for decent stats. Can't roll lightning, which is fine. Like maximum energy shield, global accuracy, attack speed. Those kind of things are pretty useful. Even getting another res. Versus there's fire res on here. If I get fire res on the ring, I can change this fire res to lightning res. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Ooh, that's pretty good, actually. Yeah, I'll keep that. How are we looking right now? We're actually only 1 off, really. Which we can get on jewels, so that's totally fine. So we don't use this ring now. We use the other one. We used our same helmet that we had before. We have the same Up Implicits. You can change this to be action speed or whatever, it's fine. This I would do want to change though, these implicits. So we're going to go back to implicitting these. Projects pierce an extra target. That's amazing. That's the mod we're looking for. That's what we want. This one we want to see rage gain on hit. Is the ideal one for this one. Or I like, at least. There's a couple different options ones that are good. Obviously, the flat damage to attacks is good. The attack speed's even better. Damage per power charge is good. But of course, we want the mod that we're not going to see for 4 years. So we're just going to keep them for a bit. These don't cost too much money. I'm not going to calculate the cost of these in there. You can always settle in for like attack speed. I might settle because I don't want this crafting video to be too long. The other one was like 50 minutes long. But yeah, attack speed again. I'm pretty sure the rage modifier exists. It's on my other pair of gloves. Attack speed again. Okay, if we hit attack speed one more time, we'll settle. Alright, we're settling. It has been decided. Here, honestly, these modifiers don't matter. You can get a little more action speed. It's okay. These are the best modifiers you can have. This is the greatest ones you can have if you don't have, if you're not using the essence modifier or the reservation. Cool. Alright, so we want to showcase a little bit of how I crafted my clusters. And honestly, I'm not going to do this too much. Well, we might. But it's literally just alteration spamming. So alteration spam, and you're looking for like 35 effect or like tier 1 int, and you can obviously do alteration plus augmentation spam if you are feeling frisky. 25 is not bad. +2 all attributes. +4 intelligence. Okay, guys, we're probably selling with this. We'll even exalt it for max life for no reason. That's pretty much it. I just alteration spammed. You can, depend on how you want to settle, you can make that up in your head. If you want to be like, I only want 35%, you just kind of do the same thing. You just alt augs, regals, and then scour if you miss it. If you're trying to go for the fracture, I like to set it up as 2 tier 1 modifiers similar to the helmet. So you want 35% to be one of the modifiers, and then either tier 1 intelligence, tier 1 maximum energy shield, or tier 1 all attributes. And then once you have that, it's a 50-50 when you do the fracture. Ideally, you hit the increased effect. But that's pretty much it. You just roll your clusters. This is not a bad cluster. Honestly, I'm pretty proud of it. And this is the same cluster we bought last time for like 1 div. I bought this base for like, I think like 30 chaos, and I just crafted it for a few things. We're already up to a lot of intelligence. We haven't put our jewels in yet, which I'm pretty excited for. We also didn't go through all of our crafting stuff, so that's pretty sweet. We could obviously spend more time on crafting on a better helmet, get higher ES and stuff. But yeah, I think it went pretty well. We're gonna put stuff in our gloves now. Calling strike. This is the same gems for the most part. I will talk about the ones that are different, but like this is spell slinger. This is all this stuff that I had before. This is just leveled up in quality because is what I'm using on my thing. Precision. We need to recolor our hat. We'll do that in a second. Actually, let's just put that away. This is the same thing. Sniper's mark. Mark on hits up it, which is just leveled up with quality, and then buy and enhance. You can buy and enhance for like 30C, level it up eventually. I didn't even crack mine yet to go try to get level 4. That's only level 3, so it's not like a super expensive thing, but you can buy the base for 30C and level up yourself. Oh, I need to put some stuff on here. Also, it looks like we're low on strength. We might de-level our thing, or we can pick up some strength. Actually, we'll pick up some strength probably. How far off are we? We're pretty far off. So you probably want to get strength somewhere. Oh, we'd have places to fill up spots too. Prefixes there. That's already crafted on. This has a suffix, so if we don't need resistances, we can put something here. Yeah, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. And of course, we're gonna be stubborn, and we're gonna just do this until it shows me Chrome. There we go. All right, let's add stuff to our pieces. So we would like to get a little bit more lightning res and some strength, and honestly, some spell suppression. So kind of a lot to ask. I think this has to be suppressed. That one can't be. This one also couldn't be. This one can be, I think. Yes. All right. Oh, didn't need to type suppress anymore. All right, this can go and be. If you want to reduce your attacks, you can reduce the attacks cost. You can also do that. I'm gonna just do this. Good enough. Do you have any open spots? You do. So we can do a strength thing. We can do an all attributes thing. Fortunately, we can't do like strength dex or strength int. We can also put on resistances, cap off our resistances. I think we go for strength. It's 26, that's the lowest roll. There we go. That's already crafted on. That's already crafted on. This is already crafted on. Okay, I think we crafted on everything. You can also technically quality up this. So let's go buy Catalyst, just so I can showcase that. So we actually want 2 Catalysts. We want like multiples of this. How much are these right now? They're not that bad. Let's go like 40. Sure. I didn't even spend all that money, it said. But we want to go ahead and quality up this. This will add extra stats that we want. And then Yeah, technically you can like add it to like this and stuff like that if you want to. In fact, I do. We don't have enough to finish it up, but boom, that's pretty good. You can make it prettier yourself later. It's okay. All right, we're gonna select the last 5 points. Like I said, I'm level 100, so this only is a level 95 character. But yeah, so 5 points will go unused. And see now, look, now we can equip all our stuff without having to use our jewel sockets. I need to recolor this to be 2 green, 2 red, 2 blue. I need to recolor this and this. All right. Easiest one will probably be, well, let's put that stuff in here, I guess, make it easier for myself to see. You eventually buy, we'll talk about actually what I'm socketing, I guess. I don't want to talk about it and then confuse people later. Put this in here. Then we'll talk about how much I love jewel stuff later. Because we have a bunch of jewel sockets to put stuff in. All right. Let's try this for a little bit. We need 2 of each. We might just go craft 2 red on the thing and see if it shows up. We have a ton of stuff, but you can do this for, you want 2 of each in this setup. If you're using a Nimbus, you don't have to use returning proj. You can obviously use like crit damage support or something like that. So change your sockets accordingly. Alright, let's try this one. I need this to be 2 blue, a red, and a green, or 2 red, blue. Perfect. This is our auras. Arctic armor, flesh and stone. We got rid of grace. Discipline's still here. And then we added enlighten to help their reservation. Need 1 green, 2 red, and a blue. Might be easier to craft 2 red. We actually use a lot of red sockets. Now that I'm imagining it now. Yeah, let's go do so you can do that for a while if you want to. There's probably better ways to do stuff. For helmets, you can actually do it a little bit easier than what I'm about to do. But all right. Let's try one more time. One more time. Perfect. So this is your custom damage taken setup. That being said, we do have precision up here because it is the one that requires the least amount of reservation efficiency. So we want all our big reservation stuff in here with our enlighten. It does not trigger a custom damage taken, so it's fine to be linked like that. You can unlink it if you want to. It's purely your choice. This one, we're perfect. And so we're using returning proj because we're not using Nimbus, or we're not using the other thing. We're using greater multiple projectiles, using volatility. Also, you might be looking at some of the levels of this stuff. I mean, like, do I need this level? Like, you don't need a 21-23 kinetic blast. I did this as a joke. It adds like 0.8% damage, and that's it. You just a 20-20 is fine. You don't need to do like all the weird stuff that I have on them for no reason. All right, let's turn on our auras. There we go. We have our stuff set up. Perfect. We're at almost 7,000. We have almost 12,000 smartness, good old intelligence. We have a bunch of sockets. So we have 1, 2. This one right here, his Emperor's Wit. I included this. I will include this in mine. It is like 10 divines for the lowest percentage right now. I think this one's like 15 divines. You don't have to get this right away. If you want to, it's a good item. But just like I said, go with your budget. You can put out another rare jewel here if you need to. And we have these 2 sockets over here. So we have 4 open sockets right now. We're putting stuff into. We're going to do 2 different setups with each different African Invention Flame. So one for this, and one for this. We're going to want Corrupted Blood Immunity. So I'm just going to grab... You know what? I'm going to grab this one. You don't have to get this jewel. This is super expensive. This is both my Corrupted Blood jewel and my Avoid Being Shocked jewel. So because I'm using this as one jewel, I'm going to leave an empty socket. Just for simplicity. But make sure you get Corrupted Blood Immunity somewhere. And make sure you get your Avoid Being Shocked so that you cap off with this. which actually I'm not capped off with this because like I need it 44%. So on my thing I am, but you know, when you do yours, make sure you're capping yourself off. I'm going to leave this spot empty to say that this is technically 2 joules. And that's it. And these over here, we're going to try different for the progression flame tools. We're going to do this one first. This is unstable, which gives you power charge on crit and +1 maximum power charge. So because we have this is the 2D set, we technically can unspec this node right here. And then you can technically go into like this, and then you don't necessarily have to go into here. So I went here to grab that to make up for it. I'm gonna leave this here for the showcase anyway. You can definitely take these 4 nodes off probably now. Still be hit capped. Go into like another jewel node here. Go into another jewel node here. All that kind of stuff. I will not show that for the showcase. I'm also, once again, not gonna do flasks. We're just not gonna do flasks. I think we're pretty good. Spell Suppress isn't capped. Oh, right. Do we go lucky? Nope. We want to change that to lucky. Get a little bit closer. If you get better on your crafting and you get suppress, great. We still will be spell capped here. We'll be closer. We'll be 83%. If you get like a quartz flask and have good uptime, you'll feel a lot tankier. But we're gonna showcase kind of what we're doing, what we have here already. I'll just do my beast thing, but maybe we'll do T17 afterward. Actually, no, let's do T17. People are gonna want to see T17s. Let's see if we can do T17 with this current janky budget thing that we did. We'll do T17s on big money, which is our Harbinger farmer. I'll show it before we do it. I'm not gonna fully roll it. And we should be, if you have a level 5 elemental damage with attack support, the level 1 costs 5 div. But when you level it up, level 5 gives you immunity with this specific skill to elemental reflect. All right. Right, I forgot what I was doing. T17s. Which carbon abomination. Less recovery rates, a little bit annoying. Poison on hit, whatever. All this is whatever. The only annoying mod that really is a pain in the ass is going to be less recovery rate, but we'll make do. Let me get some scarabs so people aren't being like, you're not doing any juice. Do the juice. Let's see how it goes with that. I'm just going to do my typical thing for farming Harbinger, which is these 3, and then one of each of these. But this is the tree for people who want to see it. This is my Harbinger / partly beyond tree. And a good bit of scarab stuff and like mod effect. Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and see how this goes. I want to select Harbinger as well. Oh, and actually I'll show, sorry, I scrolled over Harbinger, didn't I? Scrolled way over it, yeah. I'm going to be using my Doriani Merc. Which I will go over his budget separately. For some reason, you won't let me talk to him. Oh wait, is it because... Oh, mine's here. This is mine. This is mine. I, once again, went over this last time. I'll go over more detail in a little bit afterwards, actually. But I'll take out like this ring right here. This is his worst ring. It'll put him at -100 instead of negative like 160 or whatever. But we'll run like this, and then I'll talk about his budget afterwards as well. Cool. So we didn't really read the mods, but boom, look at damage looks solid. You're not as tanky. Once again, I don't have cap suppress. You probably want to cap suppress before you come up in here. We might die because of that. We also have less recovery, but damage looks really solid. For 50 divines, I would say not too shabby. You're obviously gonna get juiced by being a Headhunter and killing rare stuff. So I might randomly start teleporting because that's one of the fun Headhunter mods. Oh, I died. Okay, I'm gonna leave that in. You're gonna see that happens. The more you invest into actually crafting your gear better, the better you'll be able to farm. You should be able to farm T16 juice content relatively easy, which we'll show that as well as a showcase. But also capping suppress will definitely make your life easier. Using flask, I have no flask on. Flask add actually a huge amount of tankiness to the build. Trying not to stand still for Harbingers too much because they tend to pile up damage a good bit. This guy's a little annoying, so I'll go over here and kill him real quick. And I don't want to full clear. I don't want the showcase to be too long. So let's like make our way towards like a boss room and then we can showcase the boss a little bit. But yeah. Not spell risk capped. We're less recovery right now. I don't know what that said, but we'll click it. Alright, let's go ahead and try the bosses out. Actually a good question. I wonder if the boss can if we can handle the boss at this level. I think we're not going to be tanky enough. I think once they start doing their giant AoE crap, we're going to get really spooked. Yep. So you will probably need to dodge around a little bit, but you can see the damage is okay. It's just that the tankiness is not there yet with this current investment. I'm trying to avoid, yeah, that thing that she does. Alright, another one down. Where is... Oh, she's in the air. Annoying. There she is. I hate when she goes in the air. Alright, now we just gotta dance around for like an hour. She's invulnerable. Obviously, if you're a better player, you probably like... Oh, we gotta take off, whatchamacallit too. We have no recovery right now, as if you notice. Like, our stuff's not going up. Also, did I take off Ghost Reaver? Because I definitely need to. Okay, it is. But make sure Ghost Reaver's off. So you can technically dance around there and recover your energy shield. You can obviously also dance around, or what we need to do. I don't actually understand the mechanic of this one. So if you're a better player, be a smarter gamer. Don't stand still for too long. Like, I'm just standing still, just getting a beating. I'm gonna leave this all in though. Like I said, be a better player. You will do just fine. Oh my goodness. Alright. Maybe be a little better of a player, and then you actually won't run into these issues whatsoever. You can also roll your maps a little bit better. There we go. She's dead. Let's see if we can finish him off. See, normally you'd be like over-capping and recovering really quickly. But because of the less recovery, it hurts actually quite a bit on the survivability side of things. Darn it. Okay. That's life. It's gonna be okay, chat. We're gonna be fine. But that's kind of showcasing the T17 version on a juice content. We're gonna do a T16 with the juice to showcase that. Wait, I already have these kind of laying around, don't I? I have some rare ones here. Yeah. Let's go. And then obviously, if you had a higher investment in your Doriani merc, you will also be able to kill easier. At a certain point, investing into your Doriani's merc is actually more beneficial to you. I would say once you get past this point, investing in getting your Doriani to negative 200 is a huge value. And honestly, we might have some more crafting recipe stuff over. Maybe we'll go back and start recrafting stuff. Can't take minus res, unfortunately. I'll take a puzzle box. My screen does start getting glitchy when things happen with Harbinger and Headhunters. Because you get kind of crazy. Look how big I am now. Yeah, this is no flask content for people who are worried. I probably should put flask on to showcase what you would feel like with flasks. I wonder if I still have my old flask actually. I'll check that. And if I'm old flask, we go do another T17 with the other jewels, and that probably will feel a lot better as well. But I'm not gonna full clear all this stuff. This is just, like, you can obviously full clear. You can see how crazy it gets with this gear. My health isn't really moving. This guy doesn't have a mage blood or a mirror hiding in his inventory. This doesn't say make a million divines. But yeah, this is how it looks for 50 divs on like a explicit juiced map. Unfortunately, this boss takes forever. There we go, boss down. There we go, boss down. Alright, let's go see if I have my old flasks back. Hi. You probably just witnessed me to fall into my hubris of not wanting to finish crafting flasks and dying in T17s. So I wanted to rewind a little bit and then essentially craft some flasks for ourselves. So, oops, I need to put D&D on. I didn't realize the one that was for me. But yeah, so we crafted flasks. We want the flash charge gain on hit from critical strikes, or chance to. And then, like, you know, critical strike chance is good. Evasion rating, great. Extra on res because, once again, we still have not capped our things. So Bismuth plus that extra stuff will help us cap and go over. And then avoid being shocked because we didn't do better on our jewels or boots. And then avoid being stunned because avoid being stunned is always nice. Yeah, these are the flasks that I'm using. Go over them slowly. Sorry about that. Other than that, we did improve the craft on here a little bit. It was like, I think, 300 before, now it's 314, so now we're over 7,000. I just wanted the number to be over 7,000. It was so close. And then because we didn't craft well on our boots or our gloves to get a high amount of suppress, we went back and grabbed this press cluster. So instead of going this way, we went back around here and grabbed this. Those are the main changes, I believe. Oh, we also, I like this quality of life. This is a personal choice. I like marked enemies cannot deal critical strikes mastery. It helps out with getting crit by big monsters. But you can, if you prefer the frenzy charges, take the frenzy charge one. The other reason I don't like the frenzy charge one is because if you're farming blue altars, there's a blue altar for less defenses with frenzy charges. So this allows you to click that because you're not going to generate frenzy charges. You're only care about power charges. I don't think anything else is matter. Oh, right. We did do Searching Eye Jewel still here for Cut Blood and Avoid Being Shocked. I left a spot empty here because ideally you probably wouldn't get this, or you most likely wouldn't get this on in the same jewel. At least not for a good budget, so just get 2 jewels, one for the other if need be, or like I said, craft better suffix on your flask and use your boots, and that should be fine as well. And you don't have to worry about the whole Avoid Being Shocked thing at all. But I'm going to leave this socket empty just to showcase that this should be 2 things in general. And then we are using the Unstable Infusion version of Flame Jewels. This is the 2D set, so 1 for each. And it's the one that gives power charge on critical strike as well as maximum power charge. That'll allow you to essentially have power charges up during boss fights. Cool. We're still level 95. 5 points left over, but this is what the tree looks like. I'll make sure to update the POB with any of the changes, including adding all the flasks and stuff like that, so that you'll see exactly the items that we have here added into it. These are the other ones. I'm just not using this right now. As far as Mercenary, we're going to try out on our Striker. Only using a Doriani's and 1 ring to simulate 2 rings. Like if you get 2 50% rings, you'd be about the same thing over here. But he has 1 ring. And then he has a toe here. People like using the toe here. I would recommend, though, if you're taking this into 217s also, to look into probably more survivability than this character currently has. Even with him having like Determination, Vitality, and like Enduring Cry, he doesn't have a lot of recoup. In fact, I have him all on like a Magic Find gear, so he might still die. But worst case scenario, we can test it out on our other. This is his old gear, by the way. We had him as a Magic Finder color. We can't use Gravebinds with Headhunter as a heads up. But yeah, so we're going to try another T17 and see if this works a little bit smoother. And that way it'll hopefully showcase the build a little better. We'll still do Abomination. Reduced action speed doesn't matter to us. Yeah, that doesn't matter to us. And I don't think he does elemental damage. If he does, then rip him, I guess. We're on our same tree, Big Bunny with the Harbingers on it. Eater, Harbinger, Harbinger Scarabs. Alright. And one thing we learned is that I'm not used to the playstyle. Essentially, you gotta shoot forward with the returning proj setup, because I'm used to being random. You can obviously Wildwood and Delirium it up if you want to, but I don't want to do a full Wildwood showcase. Maybe we'll come back and do a little bit of it, but I just kind of want to move our way to the boss room to see if we can handle the bosses yet. As you can see, the general clear is really good for like farming the non-bosses. I think our damage on bosses is also going to be fine. I think it's mostly just going to be, we don't want to take minus res. I think the issue is mostly going to be tankiness. Can I stand still and tank, or do I have to move? I assume at this level of investment, you will have to move. I think the damage is fine as long as you have your mercenary up. But so as long as he doesn't die, we should be okay. Like I said, if I find a Divine Altar, and I click on it properly this time, I will full clear this map. But probably do that, you know, off showcase. For you guys with my million divines, you know? But yeah, as you can see, there we go. Here's boss arena. We're gonna kill, I don't know, her first? I don't know, seems fine. Done her thing. Let's see if we can tank stuff for a little bit. Okay, we're tanking that. I'm gonna tank whoever's next. Alright. Ooh, get a little spooky. Ooh. Alright. Okay. Can we tank this guy too? Ooh! Okay, I moved a little bit. I got a little spooked there. But I would say it's not going that bad, to be honest. Okay. Going a little bit worse towards the end. I'm actually pretty good with that. Once again, I know people have different expectations, like, oh, I put 50 in this budget, I should probably be able to one-shot everything at all times. That is not my expectations for most things in life. And like I said, damage is okay. You're not going to be farming T17 bosses on this budget, obviously, but it can be done. And then obviously, if you're watching me, I'm going to be honest, you're watching to scale your character, not to invest like 17 mirrors right away. This is like, I have 50 divines, can I play this build? And so that was a T17, and I would say yes, you can play this build. It gets better. Oh, we got the teleporting mod for Headhunter. Let's get out of here before it triggers again. I don't remember if I discussed this in the original video before I redid this shoot, but it is worth investing into a mercenary. The more negative you get, like up to a 200, the more damage you're going to get. After this, once you get to this point, investing some stuff into your mercenary to make sure they're staying alive, like buying a Defiance of Destiny, or like, you know, getting better rings, that'll help your damage out a lot. I think originally I said I won't make a second video. I might, or sorry, a third video. I might make another video, depending on how things go. But I would say this is a pretty decent showcasing of it. If you watch the first map showcasing and you're like, please remember to craft your flasks. They had so much value to your character. Like, literally, I have like 2,300. If I put my flask on, I go up to 3,000. Sorry, 30,300. Or sorry, 33,000, which is a lot of evasion to be missing. And you don't even need necessarily quartz flask, I guess, now, because we capped it with the other thing. But yeah, this is a pretty decent budget, and I hope that you've learned something here. Like I said, this is all base level crafting. None of this is fancy. Like, this is not great gear. You might be able to buy better gear for cheaper than crafting it yourself if you want to. But I like learning crafting, even if it's necessarily not always intuitively like the best thing for me to do, but it gives me like knowledge of like, hey, what can be done kind of stuff. So if you want to learn to craft, please, you can follow those steps. If you don't, you can use it as a guideline of like what you should be looking for when you buy your gear. But yeah, we used mostly the same gear that we had started with, other than like, honestly, we even used the Sunfire helmet. If you change this into a Witch's Circlet, it's a lot stronger. And we ended up with decent intelligence. I would say this is not bad. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave comments below, ask questions. If you want to see a third video, ask me what you want to see. If, like, for instance, if you care more about like, hey, how do you fracture stuff, and you want to focus on me just fracturing things or something like that, let me know. I'm excited to see what everyone is interested in seeing as the next steps. Or if this is good enough, then we'll stop here, because I will be having like other projects coming up soon to work on for PoE. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye!